We started this series on the Maverick with putting some window tint on, as well as some new wheels and tires. And then Austin bought some Eibach lowering springs, and we lowered this thing a couple inches, giving it the stance that you see in the video today. And now we unleashed Austin on Amazon to just go hog wild on all the exterior accessories that's on the market for the Maverick.
So here's why I wanted to do this video. If you go on Amazon right now and you type in Ford Maverick accessories, you could literally not look at your phone, set it on the table, and scroll for an hour straight, and you will not get to the bottom of Ford Maverick accessories. The Ford Maverick came out in like 2021, I believe it was, and it was a huge hit on the market, and there's a lot of interior and exterior availability for third-party companies to make these exterior modifications for the Maverick. The exterior modifications are, I mean, they're wild. It's insane. There's thousands of them.
Yeah.
There's tons of companies making them. I have taken my time to go through every single modification that you can do on Amazon. All of these products are available on Amazon, and I have hand selected what I believe are going to be the biggest game changers in the vehicle's appearance and overall performance on a day-to-day basis, and what's going to suit you best. And I have either bought them or been sent them by companies. Today we are going to do an install on every one of those products in separate segments and then review them at the end. Now this is going to be a two-part series. In today's video, we are doing the full exterior like I brought up. I'm gonna have a secondary video going over all of the Amazon interior mods that are on the market right now and going through which ones are the best. We're gonna start off with this guy right here. I believe this is one of the most necessary mods on any pickup truck,
Especially in wintertime.
From the brand Tip Top, this is the absolute cheapest tonneau cover that you can get for the Ford Maverick on the market right now. At $159 with a lot of really high ratings. Let's see what this soft roll-up tonneau cover is like to install and how it holds up over time.
Well, you guys feel free to sit around and watch paint dry with Austin. Meanwhile, I'm gonna actually get something done here. And what I'm gonna do is install these 3D printed molded mud flaps on all four corners. And just know that these are super easy to install. So if we hate these, we can take them off with zero modifications to the vehicle. We are simply just taking clips on and off and a couple screws. Let me just show you real quick. All this consists of is these four different holes, two of which are push pins and two of which are, let's look at this really quick, 7mm little nuts there. And check this out. Here's what you need right here. You have a 7mm socket, you have a flathead screwdriver and a little prier. You just pop the little head off like so. You pull that out just a bit. You get in there with your pry tool and you pop the pin out like so. You do that one more time.
Let's show you how things are looking over here with the tonneau cover install. The first thing that I did is I cleaned up the entire area that the tonneau cover is going to end up sitting because there is some 3M tape involved and we want to make sure that we are installing the tonneau cover on a very clean and clear surface. So I wiped it down and then I made sure it was nice and dry. Let's look at what we have for parts. We have a lot of 3D printed components here. We have this nice weather seal with a light. Then we have the tonneau cover itself and then the rails that the tonneau cover velcros itself to. Step number one is we have to lay down some 3M tape. So we have to take this little 3M tape weather strip here, run it along the side of the bed. That way we have a full seal once we install the tonneau cover. So I'm just gonna hold it up for my dad here as he slowly removes some of the tape. I'm gonna go ahead and trim it because you do need to trim this yourselves as they send this out with multiple different models of truck.
So now this is just as simple as taking the side rail here with this channel and inserting the front canvas or head assembly, putting that channel into that channel, and then tightening up the set screw. Pretty simple. Not much to it. You just line her up there and it slides into place. Make sure it's all the way forward. Then we'll tighten the set screw up.
All right, my dad got those mud flaps on, so why don't you guys quick take a peek at these. I think they look pretty solid, but at the same time I don't like them that much. I can't really decide. However, coming into Minnesota winter here, I do believe they're going to be functional in the sense that they're not going to throw salt like up into my rear quarter panel as much or behind my front door. So I think I'm going to keep them on all winter, but I might, if I don't end up liking them, take them off next spring. However, at the moment, they have more function over fashion, I believe. Now, when it comes to the tonneau cover, I'm going to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10 to install, probably a 3 to 4 out of 10, maybe 3.5, we'll say. The mud flaps will rate a 1 out of 10. Once the tonneau cover is in, all you have to do is you simply pull on this string back here. It pulls itself up, then you can roll it right on up. So let's show you exactly what we did after we installed those clips there. All you have to do, if you want to come look at these clips here, once you have these in, you simply, don't make them super tight, but just kind of get them snug and then roll it out, make sure everything lines up, make sure it snaps into place. If it doesn't line up, move it an inch or two or a centimeter or two, depending on where you need to move at, whether it's forward, back. Once you get it lined up, simply tighten those down, roll it out, lock it up. It's as easy as that. It really is pretty simple, but it would probably be a lot easier with 2 people versus 1. Based on the $159 price of this tonneau cover, I am very happy with its ease of installation, overall quality, how it looks once installed, and the fact that I can very clearly tell it's going to be waterproof. I rate this highly, and I think this is a must-do. There's a link down in the description below. Let's move on to the next thing. We're going to bounce around a little bit. We're going to move from the back to the front to the back to the front, just for fun. Why not? Now we're going to be talking about the turn signal bulbs, or the daytime running lights. They function as both things. I really like my LED headlight and auto high beam on the Maverick. However, my running light and daytime running light look really dated when they're sitting right next to it, being a halogen bulb. Now, Last Fit makes these really cool bulbs that actually function as a white LED for a daytime runner, but still turn back into an amber light for a turn signal bulb. They're LED with a 1-year warranty on them. You can use our link down in the description below. Thank you, Last Fit, for sending me these bulbs to test out. Let's get them in here and see how they look. Now, to install these, it is probably the easiest mod anybody can do on a vehicle. This large brown connector, twist it, pull it out. There's the bulb that we're going to be replacing. So we simply just need to go ahead and pull this bulb out here, give it a tug, and then install our new LED bulbs from Last Fit. Just like so. Just kind of cool clip here. When you unlock it, you get the visual appearance of the fact that they go from LED to amber. So kind of cool that they'd make that switch like that. It looks a lot more updated, a lot more modern. Might have to reach out to Last Fit to see if they got anything for my taillights. Those things are pretty sweet. I'm a really big fan of these bulbs. I think they add a lot to the visual appearance of the Maverick. Not only that, but they add a lot to the turn signal performance for people seeing you turn in front of you. So I do think they are well worth it, not to mention they got a pretty big warranty on them. So be sure to check out our link down in the description below to pick yourself up a set of these bulbs. Let's move on to the next mod. Next up, we're going to install these Maverick inlays on the tailgate here. This doesn't do anything performance or to improve our day-to-day driving. However, I think it adds a lot of contrast to the tailgate here, opposed to just a large piece that's gray. We don't really have a whole lot of color going on this panel, and we have this stamped in Maverick wording, which is the same color as the tailgate. So I think these raised letters are going to bring us a lot of color. I'm going to give these a 1 out of 10 on install, just like I gave those running lights. These are using 3M tape. Let's get to it. My dad has left us to leave town yet again, which leaves me to take on the remainder of the project of the best exterior mods on the Maverick. It is a new day, new mods have shown up, and we are going to start with this from, I believe it's a company called Arana, something like that. But this is a tailgate assist. The Ford Maverick does not come with any type of assist when you open the tailgate. So watch this right now. So if I just open my tailgate, very aggressively opens. There's nothing smooth about it, and it's just not very high-end feeling by any means. This is going to solve that for the small price of about $22 to $23. Let's start with the install. The install on this one seems to be very self-explanatory. The instructions are very easy, very colorful, and have large pictures. They're quite easy to follow. Ultimately, all we're doing is installing a gas shock or strut onto the tailgate. That way it nice and slowly opens when we do pull that latch. So let's go ahead and get started with that. To get started, we just pull this clip right here, lift the tailgate up a little bit, pull that guy out. It still is being supported by the other side, so we don't have to worry about supporting the tailgate. Then we just need a T50 socket here, and we take out this bolt. Now we just take this little provided plate, put that same bolt right on through it, and screw it right on back in. Easy as that. But I think it's really slick just how high quality this thing is. If you guys can see, they even like perfectly bent it to go at the body line on the tailgate here, so it fits entirely flush. Really slick. Now this little piece here, what you have to do is you get a screw, 2 washers, and this nut on the end here. You put it together by doing screw, washer, and then nut, and then you screw it down a bit here, just like so. And then what you're going to do is angle this perfectly. You put this piece against where the tailgate spins here, and then there's this little hole on the side of the tailgate, and you kind of angle it in, push this inside of the tailgate. If you can get it in there, it does take a few tries, but once you have that in there, then you just screw it down the rest of the way and you're good to go. Then you just need a 3/16 hex drive and go ahead and tighten it down. Easy as that. Now all we do is press in the bottom part of the shock down here and raise it up a little bit, and we press in the top part right up here. Simple as that. Now we have a slowly opening tailgate. Just go ahead and reinstall this guy here, just like that. There's actually another step that is not listed in the instructions, and I just verified with my other friend that has one of these installed. You actually have to take off the bottle opener on the driver's side. You do have a bottle opener still on the passenger side, but you do have to take either the passenger or driver's side off, whichever side you install it on here. But simply just 2 T30 screws here and here. And then you just simply pull this guy off, just like so. Once you have that off of there, I would personally just reinstall those screws just to make it look a little bit better, because now it's just kind of a large, 2 large screw holes that look bad. So I'm just going to tighten these back down. Both sides, just like so. And now we should be able to shut our tailgate. I would give that a 2 out of 10 on hardness to install. Pretty easy. Next steps that we're going to do are kind of personal preferences, and in my case that is deleting the chrome. So I do not like the chrome that I have around the Ford logo here and the Ford word itself, the hybrid logo down here, the chrome inside of the taillights, the chrome inside of my headlights, the chrome inside of my third brake light, chrome on the front Ford logo. There's a lot of it on this Maverick. I personally am not a fan of that, and since this is the XL, I didn't have the option to get the black appearance package, which eliminates all of that stuff. So I'm going to kind of do it myself. One of the things I bought is this here on Amazon. It was like $15.99. It has some 3M tape around the whole inside of it, and that just lays over the Ford logo here. However, that doesn't solve the fact that it still says Ford in chrome up top. So I did buy this tint from Vivid, some 50% taillight tint that I'm going to use on multiple parts around the exterior of the vehicle. We're going to start with the Ford logo and taillights here, and then depending on how dark it is, I might do my headlights, I might not. I don't want to affect the performance of my headlights by any means. However, if it's just a light smoke to eliminate the chrome, I will go ahead and do that. I'm not professional when it comes to tinting by any means, but I did exactly what I was trying to do. I just want this fascia very smooth, very clean, and then I just want the sealed off outer edge. I don't need it to look clean by any means because it's all going to be covered up by this little black piece that's going to run around the entire thing here. So you won't be able to see any of this poor wrinkles on the edges here, but I personally am not awesome at tinting and I don't know how to make that perfect. But I made sure that it is going to be watertight. I made sure that the edges, there isn't any bubbles in. I know that there's some bubbles in between, but that's okay. As long as the area that is going to be visible is clean, then I'm good to go. So now I'm just gonna peel off all of the outer edges of this 3M tape, stick it on, and we're all done. Thanks to Skylar behind camera here. My very short nails could not get any of the 3M tape off, so she was very helpful in that sense. Now we're just gonna lay it over here, make sure we have it nice and center, and put it on there straight. Let that 3M tape suck itself down nicely. And it's as simple as that. Now we have it on there, and we have a blacked out Ford logo. I really like actually how the tint looks with the word Ford behind it, because it looks like black chrome. It's pretty cool. I actually like the way that looks quite a bit. After using some excessive heat for a few minutes, as well as some fishing line, all you gotta do is get behind these logos here and slowly peel back all of the glue that they use to stick these to the back of the beds of these trucks. So you just work it back and forth all the way across, cutting the glue, and off comes the logo. Then we just use some Goo Gone to get off the remainder of this residue, and we're good to go. All right, so I'm going to be installing this little stripe on my hood here. I found this on Amazon. You can check out the link down in the description below for this. But I just really like the way that this looks, and I think it goes along with all the black accents that the Maverick has. And there's just a very large gray area on the Maverick with no other color change. We have that little Cryptic Customs logo on the back, which is my work aftermarket team. And I just figured that this would look pretty solid on there as well. So what we're gonna do is just lay this out in where we wanna put it, and then I'm going to install it using the wet method. So let's just go ahead and kind of line this up where we want it to go. Then we're gonna flip it around on my windshield, get the wet method ready to go, lay this out properly, and then just slowly squeegee out all that water and install it just like so. My dad is back yet again from vacation, so on to the next step. We're going to start with tinting the taillights here. We are going to be using 50%. So I did use that darker tint when we did the Ford logo, and it was way darker than I expected. When I ordered it online, it said that it was 50%, but that is most definitely not 50%. This, however, for sure is. So we're going to use this on my taillights because that seems extremely illegal. So all we're going to do is, I took the taillights out of the car like you guys saw. We're just going to cut out the amount of tint that we need, lay it over the taillight here. Then I'll have my dad kind of hold it tight, and I'll start applying from the center and work my way out. So it's going to be a pretty easy process. Let's get to it. Hey you guys, thanks for tuning into the video. So ultimately what we got done today, we put that tonneau cover on, we put the lights on, we put the hood stripe on, we put some mud flaps on. We tried to start tinting some things. We tinted the rear Ford logo. We started tinting that back, or we put that little cover over the back. We debadged it. So all of those things in general ultimately really increased the look and kind of performance in a couple of ways of the Ford Maverick, and I think that they are must-do Amazon mods that you can purchase. Now, I did have a lot of trouble tinting the taillights, and that's why I didn't show them. However, if you guys are looking at these clips right here, you can see with this 50% tint on here from Vivid that it does look identical, and I mean identical to the Black Appearance Package taillights without that LED line around it. But with my lack of skill, I decided that I am going to move past trying to tint the taillights myself, and if this video gets enough likes, we're going to go forward and have a shop tint them, just because they can actually get the job done right without me spending 3 to 4 hours of
There was definitely a lack of skill.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
It is not my strong suit, tinting, I'm not gonna lie. I can do stuff mechanically, but I feel like anything visual, I cannot do. I do not know how I put that stripe on the hood. Like, it doesn't look bad. Right. I don't know how I did it.
Yeah, you did all right.
It took me a long time. I think there's one air bubble in it. We're gonna
looks good from the viewer's house.
It looks great from the viewer's house.
Sure does.
So there's a link to everything down in the description below. And thanks again to Last Fit for sending me those bulbs. And let me know what you guys think of the exterior mods that we did here on the Ford Maverick. There's going to be an interior mods video coming here soon. And then one more thing.
Uh-oh.